Hello again and welcome back everybody to another session of Gaming with God. I'm your host, Grumpy Old Dude. And we're going to go back to U-Boat for a little bit here. This was one of the motivating factors behind building the new desktop. My laptop couldn't play U-Boat anymore. It wasn't cooling properly and it was frying the CPU. So I built the desktop with much better cooling. And now I can play U-Boat, so it only makes sense to play U-Boat. Now I had started a U-Boat series not that long before we went back to the gold box. I had to quit because of the CPU heating issue. I have changed, however, the mod list. So I thought I'd start there. We're going to have authentic goods, which changes the appearance of the goods in our storage and galley. Realistic T5 torpedoes, expanded crew, this adds additional enlisted crew slots. Slot machine, that adds additional storage space in the galley. More officers on board allows you to have more than the maximum that the vanilla game allows. Now the community patch, aircraft bundle, enhanced BDU convoys, enhanced identification are all required by U-Boat Expanded. U-Boat Expanded does exactly what it says. It expands on a lot of things in U-Boat. It does fill things up. It does slow things down a little bit, but it's a very, very good mod. I like it a lot. I'm glad to be able to put that back in. Link is the author on that. More spare parts and med kits. This simply allows you to stack higher than 5 pieces in a block in your storage capacity. So those are the mods we'll be playing with. We're going to go to there, right there. Okay, and here we have the title screen. We're going to go to new game. Now there are a number, some of these come from U-Boat Expanded. Starting positions, starting dates, starting boats. Okay. U-31 starts you out in the port of Kiel in August of 39. This is before even the invasion of Poland. U-32 starts you out in Wilhelmshaven in September of 39. That was when they did invade Poland, I believe, was September. U-48, again, September 39, Wilhelmshaven. U-50, February of 1940 in Helgoland Port. U-46, August of 1940 in Bergen. U-96, December 1940, Port of Lorient. Now, I believe this is the starting boat and date for the vanilla U-boat, but vanilla U-boat starts you out at La Rochelle. Well, this says Port of Lorient, and it showed on the map La Rochelle. That was interesting. U-96 vanilla, here it is. January 41, Port of La Rochelle. So this is your vanilla start right here. This is U-Boat Expanded start. Okay, we are going to start in August of 1939. No, we're not. We're going to start in September. I don't like starting in Port of Kiel. We'll start at Wilhelmshaven in September of 1939 with U-Boat 32. I'm going to go balanced, intermediate. Okay, now here I'm going to shut off the tutorial. Economic difficulty, I'm going to stay on medium for now. Normally I like to play it on hard. I'm going to go with medium for purposes of the videos here. Expanded sailor management, I'm going to say yes to that. Units, I want nautical miles. Coordinate style, I want classic. Food management, yes. Torpedo flaws, I want realistic. I want realistic bilge. And there we are, 68% realism. Okay, our skipper. You can make some changes here. That says slightly overweight. I'm not seeing any. There we are. There. You can change him a bit. You can change the shirt. Here we are. Red polo, sleeveless sweater, turtleneck. Yeah, we'll do that one. Let's see, accessory number 1, I want the binoculars, and number 2, I want the pipe. I don't know, I just think the pipe fits for some reason. Yeah, there we are. We're going to be Captain Grumpy. Captain Lieutenant Grumpy. Ooh, a little rough on the intro there. I've got plenty of computer power here. What's going on? Now we just wait for it to load up the loading screen. I cut the intro out, the lead-in video intro. Here we are.
Yes, sir.
Now we have the landing video here, if you will. Here we go.
Admiralty is
And I said to disable the tutorials. I'm surprised this is coming in.
These are current orders from headquarters. Your eyes only.
We're not going to do tutorials. There we are right there. Skip tutorials. There, now they're out. Okay. So now we're going to go into the boat. First thing we've got to do, well, actually, let's pause right up here. I'm going to pause that. Come over here. We're going to go to crew. 18 of 30. That's your vanilla boarding. We did expanded crew, or the expanded crew mod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have 23 enlisted people on the board, on the boat. We're going to come over here to schedule. I do away with the third shift. We are going to do 6 on, 6 off. Whoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our 2 shifts. 6 on, 6 off. And here is my XO. He is going to take the graveyard shift here that I don't want. And this will be his engineer maintenance officer. I'm just left clicking and sliding across there. There's my maintenance officer. And there's me. The radio man, I don't schedule him. He's on and off the radio as he needs to be. Come over here to tasks. The most important task in my mind's eye for the officers, the 2 leaders, is navigation. You've got to know where the hell you're at. You change these by holding the shift and scrolling your mouse wheel. And if you listen real close, you'll be able to hear a click click as I scroll the mouse wheel. Okay, then I want observation, either through the scope or up on the conning tower outside, looking for the binoculars. Then we reduce leadership, being a commander. The XO can go ahead and play cards with the guys, kind of lighten the ice a little bit. I happen to agree with the idea that the XO and should be approachable by the men on a more open basis than the commander is. Now, once we leave port, or in fact, I'm not going to do it. I don't normally have my officers automatically load torpedoes. I don't want them doing that unless I tell them to. However, I do want manning the engines to be their top priority. And I do want them to maintain the torpedoes. And 11 over here is our sleep schedule. Radio man, if we're submerged, I want him on the hydrophone. If we're up above, I want him on the radio. He's also my medic. Okay, so there's the officers and their tasks. Enlisted, I do not want my enlisted people raising the periscope just to take a look-see. I don't want them messing with it. I take them off of that entirely. To me, most important thing, again, is the lookout, standing to watch. Then engines, helm station, deep steers. They'll only be on these momentarily as needed. So those can all be 6s. Radio next. Get something to eat, clean up the boat. There's their priorities. There's their taskings. Okay, so they're done. Crew list, task schedule, squads. I'm going to assign 1 sailor to each officer as an assist. And so on any given shift, I'll have a leader, either the XO or the commander, one of the 2 engineer maintenance guys. So that's 2 sailors. And possibly the radio man is 3, plus 8 on shift is 11. There are 23 men on boat. So that's 22 with the 2 shifts. I've got an extra guy serving as a float. Okay, so there's your squad set up. Everybody's ready to go. Now, no torpedoes are loaded. So we're going to take our engineers here and we're going to have them start loading torpedoes. Now you can't really do this, but we're going to be loading 2 torpedoes at a time here in the bow because we have to get these 4 tubes loaded. So we're going to do 2 at a time. We come down here and take a look in the galley and see what we've got. We've got 40 pounds, I guess, of dried fish, 60 pounds of potatoes, 50 pounds of pork, and 50 cans or 50 pounds of canned bread. This is not enough food for the crew to go on a patrol mission.
What do you need, officer?
Oh, a whole bunch of stuff.
Take a look.
Show me what you've got. In fact, let's back out of this for just a minute. Yeah, we do have the deck gun. Okay, a couple times I've started this and had a boat that didn't have a deck gun on it. Show me what you got. All right, come down here to items. I'm going to drag that over. We're going to buy 2 coffees. Have 6 coffees. Torpedoes. We have 1 open base. We're going to take 1 torpedo for right now. Now we're going to be loading torpedoes, so we'll have more open. I shouldn't have closed that out. Fuel. We want to top off the fuel. Food. Remember I said we don't have enough food. I'm going to take all his potatoes. I don't care. We're going to take all of them. I'm going to take 150 pounds of veggies. You're going to take another 100 pounds of preserved pork. And this is canned bread. I'm going to take 100 fresh bread. Those of you that have never been to Germany and have never had genuine brochen, I feel you don't know what you're missing. This canned bread is free. We're going to take more of that just because it's free. Now we got all kinds of bread. We got all kinds of bread. We got all kinds of potatoes. We have pork. We have fish inside there. Canned meat, right? Yep. Give me 100 of that too. Now you notice our budget declining here. Equipment. I like to buy one med kit additional off the start and one additional spare part off the start. Now I have to stop right now because I only got 2,300 left and I have to buy torpedoes still. But to do that, I've got to make more room in the storage racks, and that means I need these 2 tubes loaded. So we unpause. And this is the one thing about the start of the game now with the most recent patches is these don't start loaded. The tubes used to start loaded. Now they don't. So you have to wait through actually loading the tubes, which to me is ridiculous. They should have a time skip period here to just load the tubes and be done with it. I told this guy to come load tubes.
Move! Come on, quickly!
It's the second time I told you to load that torpedo tube there, mechanic engineer. It's your shit in gear. I'm going to suspend the recording while we wait for this to happen. We have to load all 4 bow tubes and the 1 stern tube. See you shortly. Okay. So now we have all 4 bow torpedo tubes loaded. We have 4 open slots in the bow torpedo storage. And if we scroll back here to the stern torpedo, we have it loaded, and the stern torpedo storage rack is now empty. So we can go back into the warehouse. We can pick up 5 more torpedoes. And I want the cheap ones. There's 4 of those. There's 1 of those. Now we're going to look at ammunition, the deck gun. I don't use star shells. I'm going to get rid of those. Get a little bit of money back for those. And we're going to buy some AP rounds. Now you can stack 40, but you've got a 750 kilo weight limit. So we've got 747 kilos in there. So that's all there is for that. Now we're going to come down here. We're going to put those 3 AP rounds. We're going to buy those too. Step out. Now we can see we've got 1,400 left. So we're going to come over here, talk to recruitment. I want a 24th enlisted man on the crew. Anyway, it's 12 to a shift. So we're going to find a guy. In fact, we found him right away. He can repair almost anything with a wire. He's popular with most sailors, likes to play cards. He's an engineer. That's the kind of guy we want. Yup. Right there. Recruit him. Boom. Thank you. Now we're going to come over here. Make sure he got put on the boat. 24. He's joined the boat. 24 of 30. So our crew is now good. So we need to get orders. Where are we going to go and what are we going to do when we get there?
These are current orders from headquarters. Your eyes only.
Support the invasion of France. Sinking 45,000 gross registered tons. If you do that, you get 100 points on reputation. You get 6,000 added to your budget. Okay, come on. There you go. Hit the escape key. Sometimes it wants to just kind of hold its position there. We have 3 options here. We can patrol sector A9, AN9 right here. Low difficulty level, 100% reputation. Now your reputation is how you get additional perks in the game, additional officers, permissions from headquarters, this kind of thing. 100% lets you spend, gives you a point that you can then spend. 4,000 in your budget. Or we can patrol here. Again, low difficulty. Again, 100% plus 4,000 in the budget. Or we control this zone. Low difficulty is 100% and 4,000 in the budget. We are going to take this zone right here. Part of me wants to do this because it's real close and it means I wouldn't burn much fuel, but I'm going to do this. I've done this before a few times, and in this zone here I have actually managed to find a British ship during the wartime on the patrol and sink it. So sinking tonnage is always a good thing for a sub commander, so we're going to take that one. New mission, reach the patrol area. Now to do that we have to first of all get underway. And before we get underway, let's make absolutely certain that those torpedoes we went back in and got, let's make sure we got them. Yep, we did. And in the stern too. Yep. Okay, so here's our officer contingent, 5 men down here. We have our commander, we have an engineer. Let's move this radio guy over. We have the XO, we have his engineer. He's asleep, he's on the radio, XO's on the watch, he's on the engines. And he's kind of lollygagging, which is fine. He's off shift right now. So we have 29 souls on board. How much food do we have? We have massive potatoes, which is fine. We have 311 potatoes, in fact. Canned meat, canned bread. So 29 souls, 150. Yeah, we got good vegetables. I don't know. That's 30, 100. That's only 5 pounds of vegetables each. Let's go back into here.
What do you need, officer? Take a look.
Let's go back into food. Let's get another 150 pounds. Let's do 100 pounds of cheese too. Here we go. Yeah, I like that much better. Okay, Germans they like their bread and cheese just like I do. Okay, now we're going to get underway. Go to the telegraph here. We're going to go to speed 1 right now. We are in port. And when you're in port, you're not going to go real fast. They're going to keep you going slowly. We go to the world map, scroll out, indicate we want to go to here. So it plots us a course to get to there. Now, rather than take forever to do this, I'm going to go to 48 times time compression. And even though we're in port, I'm going to go ahead and move us to speed 2. That moves us along at 10 knots. In port, you wouldn't be doing that. You'd be at 5 knot speed limit, I'm sure. I'm going to go through the gates up here. And then out into the open sea. Okay, so I am going to suspend the recording, and as soon as something actually happens, I'll resume the recording. So we will see you shortly. Okay, so far nothing has happened. We've almost reached our patrol zone here. Let's do this, and since we're almost there. Now this is done by holding the shift key and then the right mouse button, so that we can plot. The course will change. We'll have events which will change this, but for now, we have to patrol so many miles in here. 261, 271 is 532, 640, 752, 842, 849. There's 929 miles approximately that's plotted out there. We'll have things happen to change it long before we cover that amount of ground. New objective. We have to tell headquarters we're here, and our radio guy is asleep. Oh, he just woke up on his own. Very good. So we tell him to radio in. We're there. We get points for that. Important message received right over here. Hostile actions on the part of the Polish allies, England and France, are not to be expected. Hostile actions against them are prohibited until further notice. So, we've gone to war with Poland. We do not expect that France and England will much give diddly squat. That was Hitler's thinking when he invaded Poland, and then England, of course, declared war on him for it. As did France. So we go to 1800 time compression and we start moving along through our patrol zone here. Oftentimes, this very first patrol will have a whole lot of nothing going on because you're not at war with anybody except Poland right now. I don't remember what date they actually invaded Poland. I'd have to look it up. But you can Google, and you can do that if you're interested. So I'm going to go ahead and suspend the recording again until something actually happens. See you shortly. Like I said, see you shortly. We have a ship on the horizon. See if he comes into our field of view here. Yep. Oh, that's one of our submarines. So we're just going to keep on going. That's what happened so far. We've encountered one of our subs. And we have another radio message here. To all submarines, English ships are to be considered hostile with immediate effect. At present, all first wave submarines are instructed to attack freighters in accordance with the terms of the prize rules. As long as prize rules are enforced, cargo ships flying the English flag may be attacked without warning. We confirm receipt. And from this moment forward, anything flying a British flag, we are free to attack it. So, again, I'll suspend the recording until we actually have something happen, radio message, whatever. See you soon. And almost immediately, we had a radio message. France has been at war with us since 1700 hours today. Defensive actions against French warships and freighters are permitted. Submarines are not allowed to board or attack French-flagged vessels. Self-defense is allowed. I point out that all UK ships are also to be considered hostile. Confirm receipt and resume our patrol. So French ships we can only attack if they shoot at us first. British ships, we encounter them, we can sink them. See you soon. I didn't even suspend the recording yet. Radio traffic. U-48 reports have sighted a small group of merchant ships in grid AN 314. Observed course is south-southwest at 8 knots. AN 314. That's up here. It's going south-southwest. That's this. There's southwest. So south-southwest, something like this. And the 225 would be southwest. 180 is south. So somewhere around 200 to 205 degree course would be what I consider south-southwest. So that's what that radio message was. I'll suspend the recording until we have something else happen. Another radio message, whether it's worth anything to us or not, I don't know. We will find out shortly. U-47 reports have sighted a small group of merchant ships in AN 766, northbound at 7 knots. We confirm receipt. 7 knots northbound. So we're going to change our course to be about so. We're making 9 knots right now. I'm going to speed up to a speed of 3, which means, translates actually, to about 13 knots. Now, that's going south. They said north. That might have been these guys. Okay, we're going to slow back down then. This is the one going south-southwest. This is the one going north. Here's one in grid AN 348, east at 10 knots. Okay, these guys are probably going there. And if they're making 10 knots, we have a hard time catching up to them without really burning some fuel. To make sure, the only reason we'd be interested in chasing them down would be to make sure they did go there instead of continuing through here and around to the Polish port over here at Danzig. So we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to continue on our given trajectory here to see if they continue northbound. So we get up here, we're going to dink around patrolling up in this area to see what, see now they're turning northeast, or northwest rather, come up over this way. On the way back to base, heard a single propeller in 493, most likely a merchant going north. 493, where's that? That would be over here. I don't have anybody going north. Alright, we're just going to continue. We're going to patrol up here. See if something happens. We're about halfway through our mileage requirement of 1,007 nautical miles in our patrol zone. Radio message. 491 eastbound at 7 knots. That's this guy right here. We can do that. We'll do that. Because they've turned to a northwesterly course instead of north. Just on the off chance this is a British ship, which is what we're hoping for. AN 733, northbound at 8 knots. That would be somewhere over here. That's AM. Well, AN, here we are. AN 7-3 right here. So somebody here going northbound. Now, yes, we could move down this way and cross intercept him, but we want to intercept him in our zone of patrol. Plot an intercept course. It is now 15:47 hours. It's 3:47 in the afternoon. It must be rainy or something. Dark skies. We have a menu here. Let's see. Oh, it seemed there used to be a way to get weather. I'm not sure how to do it. Don't remember. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's raining. There's lightning flash. That's why it's so dark at 3:30 in the afternoon. Of course, we are way up north, too. So let's move in and close on this ship. That's about enough at that time compression rate. Let's see, my radio man is asleep. It is now 6:10 in the evening, 1809. I don't see any smoke on the horizon, but we are pointed west into the setting sun. We may not see smoke on the horizon. Continue this, bring this down to about 3 miles remaining on the plot. Then I'm going to submerge and see if on the hydrophone we can hear anything. Whoops. Oh, there it is. And it is a British ship. Dinked around with the timestamp or time compression. It is a British ship, and we know that because it's red. It's flying a British flag. It's a merchant. And we could submerge and take him with a torpedo. And I think I'm going to. Let's get us submerged. There we are. He's moved to the hydrophone. Right now he's beyond our range of sight. He's getting adjusted to the hydrophone. Let's see if he can start hearing him directly. He can. So he will start working out a torpedo resolution. Now it takes a good while to resolve a torpedo firing solution based strictly off the hydrophone. So I wanted to get that started right away. Now our course plot is pretty well perpendicular to him. This is the angle that we would like the torpedo to hit the target at, 90-degree impact angle. And the closer we are steering that course, the less deviation there is for the torpedo to have to correct to attain that impact angle. And the less deviation required on the torpedo's part, the more accurate it tends to be. Our plot is about a mile long. I figure he's going to hit right about there. If he holds his speed and course. And that's why I went ahead and submerged. I could have stayed on the surface, gotten closer, which would make the firing solution easier to obtain. But once he sees us, he'll start zigzagging, taking evasive actions. It becomes much harder to hit him with a torpedo. If I can start getting the solution now, once he comes into sight, my captain here can, using the scope, start assisting, and they'll resolve the solution much more quickly. But this gives me a little bit of a head start instead of a 0. Right now I'm up at 5%. We are slowly moving forward at 5 knots. I'll go ahead and do some time compression here just for your benefit. One of the things that I enjoy about subsims is the apprehension that builds over the time. Now we got a 9% solution. We'll have the captain start in now. He's within visual range. Now this will start going up a little bit more quickly. He's at the very edge of visual range, so it's not going to go up real fast right now. A cable is 1/10 of a nautical mile. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I want to say a nautical mile is like 2,240 yards. That's not right. I know that it's not right, but for some reason that's a number that's in my head. 11% right now. Let me just check on that. See how the hell far is a nautical mile? Nautical mile in yards. And it says nautical, and here we are. 1 nautical mile is approximately 2,025.4 yards. So a cable is about 202.5 yards. %, solution now. I am going to maintain speed down to about 5 cables, and then I will reduce speed because I don't want to close much within 4 cables. Torpedo needs to go 500 or so yards in order to activate. Might be 300 yards, I don't know. In fact, let's do this too. We've got the time. One way to reduce the likelihood of duds is to have your engineers do torpedo maintenance. So we're going to choose the engineer, right click on a torpedo and say do maintenance. So here he is coming over to maintain the torpedo. We are at alarm, so we have both engineers. So again, gaming purposes, we're going to maintain 2 torpedoes. You couldn't have 2 teams in here doing 2 torpedoes simultaneously. There's just not that much room. But this is a game. We can do things that you can't do in real life. Or you could do it like you could in real life and just not do that. You could. I do what I want. The fellow I used to work for him. I'm a grown-ass man. I'll do what I want. You know, I never did hear him say that within earshot of his wife. Just saying. Okay, we're going to slow down here. I don't want to get too close to it. Our firing solution, we are at 34% now. 35. Torpedo maintenance on tube 1 is almost done. Tube 2 is about half done. 5 cables. I'm going to stop. Because if I'm, see now, I'm thinking that's probably closer, and we're only 4 cables, 800 yards. 46% solution. Tube 1 has been maintained. We're going to bring him back up here and do tube 4. Excuse me. Do time compression. I'll bring him back up here. Do tube 3. And there's our bow torpedoes maintained. Firing solution is 66%, 68. It's an Empire freighter. 4,200 tons. Solution's at 91%. I don't want to move farther than reducing this to more than or less than 3 cables. Firing solution at 99%. There we are at 3 cables. That's a little closer. I think down it's 4 cables. Okay, now 2-1. Right here, our hit angle. We need to wait a little while, but right now our vertical angle is at 20 degrees. If I change my depth to 2 meters, it goes to 28. Now, I don't want that going up. 2.5 meters, it's 35. I'm going to set my depth to 1 meter. 13-degree impact angle on the vertical. That's close to 0, which is where you want it. But I don't want it above the water line either. So I'm going to put it 1 meter deep. Right here is our current torpedo track, which is well offline from both our pointing, our heading, and puts the torpedo hitting at a long ways from a 90-degree angle. That's a 44-degree angle on the horizontal plane. We don't want that. So we're going to do a little time compression here. You can see as this is coming across, when this line and our track are about the same, that's when we want to fire. We need to set the torpedo. There we go. Fire. Oh, hell, I hit the wrong button. Here we are. Fire. Normally, I wouldn't have them start reloading the torpedo tube right away, because normally there might be destroyers and whatnot out there. Here we go. He's moving now to start reloading. And reloading makes noise. So our torpedo's in the water. It's about halfway to the target, a little better than that. It's going to hit it very close to a 90-degree angle, which is what we want. That's good. Let's see what happens here. Now we got $1,028 in our budget. Here's our fish. Here it is. There's a hit. Down to 4 knots. On fire. Let's see if there's more damage suffered. Yep. Ooh. What do you hear out there, hydrophone guy? 4 to 9. Well. Let's see what happens here. Oh, looks like he might have got the fires put out. We're on the surface. Oh, there he's going down. He suffered more damage, fires, whatnot below decks. Radio traffic. Picked up nearby transmissions. Tell me it sank. Let's get him back on the radio. It apparently hasn't sunk yet. It's dead in the water. It's making 1 knot. And we have resurfaced. You see our compressed air tanks are only at 68%. One of the things you have to remember to do, and I sometimes forget, when you surface, you need to tell your guys go over here to the diesel compressor and refill the compressed air tanks. 824 northeast at 6 knots. The compressed air is how you surface the ship. 824 northeast at 6 knots. That's these guys. You need to see him go down, or else put him down. There he is out over there. Go up here to the surface gun. Captain Grumpy gonna man the gun, the 88. We're gonna sink the merchant ship. Torpedo stopped it, but didn't sink it. So now we're gonna sink it. Slow us down. Slow us down again. It's on fire again. That should be all it takes.
Hooray!
There she goes.
Fire!
Leave that. Radio that we have sunk that boat. Now, our guy did detect somebody over here. We're going to go to a speed of 3. Turn away from this. We reloaded tube 1. Now we're going to maintain that torpedo in tube 1. Oh, he's still moving that torpedo. Get it loaded, damn it. I told you to reload that before. For some reason, I sometimes have to tell him 2 and 3 times to get him to do things. In reality, that would not be acceptable. Why are we only making 5 knots? Here we go, because we had to accelerate. That's why. Alrighty, I'll suspend the recording and rejoin you guys when something happens here. We'll see you soon. We have radio traffic again. AN 662 northeast at 15 knots. That's somebody booking. 662. Going northeast at 15 knots. That's almost got to be a warship making 15 knots. .311 southwest at south-southwest at 8 knots. That's this guy. This is the lifeboats for the one we sank. Okay, we're going to come over here to our depth meter. We're going to hit this blue button. What this does is this submerges the boat to 50 meters and puts your guy on the hydrophone to listen. It does this for 5 minutes, maybe 10, I don't recall. And then it automatically surfaces you. Your engineer goes back and runs the compressors. But at 50 meters depth, not moving, your hydrophone guy can really listen well. Now, he had detected a larger group over here when we were sinking this guy. There was a group over in here he had detected. I want to see where they're at. Hopefully we've closed range on them. No, he's not fighting them at all now. That's depressing. Then we surface. They didn't show up again. 73, 74. I don't hear the diesel compressor running. Yep, there it is. It's running. 75. It's filling up. He's going to be. He went to bed. I knew he was going to get there soon. Alright, I'm going to suspend the recording and see you shortly. Okay, we are almost at the end of our patrol here. Our radio guy's been sleeping. He's about to wake back up again. There he is. We're going to take one last look and see if we can run across that group he had spotted when we were sinking this ship. Doesn't look good, does it? I'm going to go ahead and move at a speed of 1. We've only got a very short amount of mileage left to patrol in our zone, and the first patrol will be over with. There it is. Right there. So we're going to head about this way. Right there. We'll do that for our 9 miles. Compressed air is filled back up. Detected ships nearby. It was one of us. It was the Type 7A, a submarine right there. Damn near collided with it. Okay, and now we're going to do this. We're going to go down to periscope depth. By time compression. That's the submarine that just cut across our bow a little bit ago. Let's see if he can pick up those ships again. hydrophone guy. Where are they? Watching up here our air quality and our battery charge. It is 9:32 in the AM. It is daytime. There's another submarine down here. Maybe that was what he picked up. It was that submarine there when we were sinking him. But I thought there was more than one. It had been a long ways to pick up a submarine if it had been him. There doesn't appear to be anything else down here, does there? Well, that's depressing. Let's surface.
Skipper, I've detected a ship.
Oh, great. Just as I say to hell with it, you pick something up. Alright, we'll go back to periscope depth. We'll let you try it again. Tell me where they're at.
Skipper, I've
Here they
detected
are.
a ship. Skipper, I've detected a ship.
That's the group that's booking along, too. Surface. We're on 12 by until we're on the surface. If that's a warship, we do not want to get caught on the surface by it. It will sink us in a heartbeat. Let's get those compressed air tanks filled up. Whatever that was going too fast for us to intercept while submerged. So we're gonna speed up here, flank speed, for half an hour approximately. Get up here ahead of it, we're gonna slow down. Go back to periscope depth. Time compression. See if we can hunt this guy down and find out who the hell and what it is. There it is. Oh, they're moving away from us. It's not coming this way. It's going southwest. So we're not going to catch it that way at all. The only shot we have of catching it is flank speed on the surface running like hell. And I doubt we can catch it. We're going to try. But it looked like it was moving at a pretty good clip. And while we do this, we're going to refill the air compressors again. The reason for refilling the air compressors every time you surface is that's how you surface. You submerge a submarine by blowing air out of the ballast tanks and taking seawater in. You surface by using that compressed air reserve to shove the seawater out of the ballast tanks, filling them with air so that the boat floats back up again. You want to simulate that when you're in a swim pool. Start doing a back float. And then just exhale all the air out of your lungs that you possibly can. And you'll find that you start to sink. And then inhale as deeply as you can and hold your breath. You'll find that you start to rise. That's your lungs working like a ballast tank. Except that you don't fill them with water when you exhale. You just blow the air out of them. Filling your lungs with water is called drowning. I don't recommend it. Important message received. AN 691 northeast at 7 knots. It's got to be this guy here. We are almost done with our patrol. We are done with our patrol. Report that. Let's find out what that radio message is. Single steamer in 347. 81 knots. Near 81 degree course, 7 knots speed, 2 duds and a miss. Couldn't continue the attack. 347. That's this guy. 81 degrees at 7 knots. He's... Yep, we'll go up after him. If that submarine had fired on him, then apparently that is a British flag ship. Even though our patrol is over with, we've done our required mileage. We can try and intercept another one. Let's see what you got for us here. He's about to call it a night and go to bed.
Skipper, I've detected a ship.
There it is right there. It is 1953, so almost 8 p.m. Hopefully he'll stay awake long enough I don't have to give him coffee. Let's get up here and make sure we got maintenance pulled on our torpedoes. Yep, torpedo 1 needs to have maintenance pulled on it. Here we go. There's another torpedo or another ship there, but we're on one here. Why is he on the radio and not the hydrophone? We're submerged. I want him on the hydrophone.
Skipper?
We were supposed to be submerged.
Skipper, I've detected a ship.
1 mile to intercept. 8:01 p.m. Let's see what we got here. No, don't be turning off like that. There's another sub there. And he's taking evasive action because of this sub. So we are going to set that course right there and surface. Transport spotted.
Aye, aye, sir.
It would be very difficult to get a torpedo hit on him while he's zigzagging like that. Run the diesel compressors. Let's get to where we can sink this guy with our deck gun. Hopefully the seas aren't too rough. Oh, they're not good, are they? That's exaggerated a little bit because I got time compression, but there, no, the time compression's off. It's not smooth sailing. They'd have to be tied to the gun to not get washed overboard. Where the hell did he go? There he is. He's a good sized boat. Now, there are some merchants that are armed. I don't want to get involved in the surface gun battle. It's a good way to lose a sub. I could cheat and zoom in on this boat and see if it's armed, but I'd rather not do that. About a mile away from us, maybe a little bit more than that. The gun's got the range, but I don't have the skills to hit the ship at a mile range doing it manually. The seas are really rough. It'd be a damn tough thing to do at this range in those sea conditions, to engage this ship with that deck gun and sink it. I want to see what kind of boat this is. Glenmore, 5,700 tons. I don't believe that is a surface, but making 7 knots. About 1,200 yards away. Looks like he's coming at me. About 1,100 yards away. Go. Okay, Grumpy, let's get on the deck gun. No, it's not going to be pleasant. It is. Oh, that went over the bow. Here's a hit. There she jacked around back in again. Can't shoot through the water. Here we go. Managed to snake that round off just right. Hold your breath. Okay, you got the bow going down. Now let's put the stern down. Well, tough to do when the water's like this. I don't think in reality they'd be on the deck gun in this kind of condition. That much water hitting you in the chest would be a lot of pressure. Sink, damn you. There we go.
Attention!
Report that ship sunk. 7,153 points now. This is worth. Now we're 73.25. Yep, 14,478 our budget now. Okay, now we've completed our mileage. We've sunk 2 ships. That's great. Now it's time to go. Go back to port. And we can take the time to sail back and have more radio messages and maybe another intercept or 2. But we're going to call this an episode. We're going to take the quick way to ending the mission and do the mission completion button. 2 days later, we pull into port. Aren't we the heroes of the Reich? Very first patrol out. We weren't even at war when we left. Well, we sank 2 ships. Very successful patrol. If I do say so myself, and I did. Iron Cross second class. Iron Cross first class. German Crossing Gold. And towards the Knight's Cross. Almost halfway. 100% on our reputation. And the news that happened while we were at sea. Here we sank the Empire Freighter. Here we sank the Glenmore. Travel distance, 1,390 miles. We had to go 1,240, I think, was our patrol mission. 5 days, 20 hours at sea. Sank 2 ships for 9,973 tons. One thing I wish U-Boat did was track this tonnage sunk by it throughout your career. We made it to our patrol area. 1,070 was our mission. We did 1,390. Various orders and radio messages that we got while we were out at sea. It's autosave. Alright, let's check our food stores. And you can see we went through all those potatoes. We went through all of them. They're gone. Went through all the fish. We went through a fair amount of the. Did we go through the preserved pork? We went through the fresh bread. We went through all the potatoes. We went through the fish. Yeah, okay. Let's get those 3 rounds moved up to there. Let's come into here.
What do you need, officer?
We're going to go ahead and resupply now. so that in the next episode we don't have to bother with that. We're going to buy 4 coffees this time. And another one of those. Yeah, another one of those. We're going to top off on fuel. Come over here for food. He doesn't have any potatoes. What, marshmallow? Oh, eggs. That's a new one. Give me 250 eggs. Another 75 pork. $250 fresh bread. Another 100 pounds of cheese. Cheese, bread, pork, eggs. Otherwise we're good. Okay, torpedoes. We only fired 1 torpedo. So there's that. Equipment. Let's get 3 more med kits. 3 more spare parts. Not 30. Not 330 for damn sure. Here we go, 3. Thank you. Ammunition. There's that. Now, our reputation up here is 1. We have a point we can spend. Let's go to the leading officer.
Deeply impressed by your last patrol. Solid work, Captain.
I'd like to ask a few favors. We're going to spend our point. We want an additional officer allowance. Now we're going to see if we got an officer available to recruit.
Let me know if you want to see that.
Sometimes he has officers, and sometimes it's just enlisted. Here we go. We do have an engineer, we have a radio guy, and we have a leader type. Okay, so he's got that. Now let's see if he's got a mission for us that gives us a free officer.
Solid work, Captain. These are current orders.
What are the orders that we're going to get to choose from here? Assault on British shipping. We're going to support the invasion of France. This one does not have an officer involved. Neither does this one. This one gives you a radio guy, but it means patrolling this area here, and you have to sink 10,000 tons in order to get your free radio guy. High difficulty, small number of vessels expected to be in the area. 10,000 tons is a lot to have to sink when you don't expect a lot of traffic. The danger here is you got to go all the way up and around there. You don't want to be traversing the English Channel. You got to sink 7,000 tons here. You know, not a hell of a lot of difference between 7 and 10,000. We're going to do this one, which means I'm not going to recruit the officer. Yes, I am going to recruit the officer. Yes, I am. Because I'm going to put somebody in headquarters and have them start researching.
Captain, this may be your new crew. Let me know if you want to see them.
I'm going to take... take the second radio man, even though I'm going to get a free radio man. And I'm going to do that because I had to sink 10,000 tons. Make sure he's on board. He is. So we go to the schedule. Put one radio man onto my shift. The other radio man on the other shift. Wrong. Right here. Here we go. So now each shift has a radio man. Now, if I get a third radio man on the completion of this next mission and we sink 10,000 or more tons, I can put one in the headquarters, start investigating and researching technologies for future use. U-boat is off duty for 20 hours while they upload everything from there. News reports while we're doing this. There's that. And we will be ready to begin our next mission when we return. So we come into here, we do save. These are games that I've just been playing here. Say, oops, right there, save. YouTube. First patrol done. We save that. When we come back, I'll load that game up and we will continue. Comment down below and share your thoughts with me. Share the video with your friends. Maybe we can get some more folks involved in U-boat rather. I enjoy subsims. It's a genre that's been sore lacking of a good one for many, many years. Silent Hunter 3 from Ubisoft was probably the last good subsim that I'm familiar with, and I dislike Ubisoft, so enough said about that. Take care of yourselves, my friends. Stay safe, have fun. Click that like button if you haven't already. Hit subscribe. And as always, until we see each other again, stay the hell off my lawn. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.